All right, welcome back. I've had a couple requests to get VeloCloud SD-WAN integrated into the Aviatrix global transit architecture. And since I have my own VeloCloud lab at home, I thought, okay, this shouldn't be that hard. So I got it together, got it working, and I want to show it to you guys right now. The topology is pretty straightforward. At home, I have a VeloCloud Edge 500, and it's configured with subnet 192.168.2.0/24, and my MacBook is connected to that subnet right now via Wi-Fi because there's a built-in Wi-Fi module on that Edge 500. Now that Edge 500 connects to the internet and builds an SD-WAN tunnel, SD-WAN fabric, and it terminates at the VeloCloud VCG, VeloCloud Gateway. That's basically a multi-tenant router or multi-tenant entry point that VeloCloud usually hosts in different facilities like Equinix facilities and whatnot. And it's a nice way to get into SaaS apps, to get to the internet, and to get to other non-VeloCloud sites by terminating a standard IPsec-IKE tunnel onto the VCG. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the VCG and configure it to build an IPsec-IKE tunnel to the West AWS transit environment to get into the Aviatrix global transit architecture. It's pretty straightforward. So let's get started. We're going to start configuring this from the VeloCloud side because VeloCloud is pretty rigid in what they allow you to manipulate or change in the options of building this IPsec tunnel. For example, you can't specify the tunnel IPs that you use on the tunnel, and I need to have those. I need to know those when I'm building the Aviatrix side. And so what we're going to do is we're going to configure what they call a network service. And what this is just telling the VCG to build an IPsec tunnel to some third-party environment. So to do that, you go under Services, Non-VeloCloud Sites, and you hit New. We're going to give this a name, Aviatrix Transit. What type is it? Well, it's a generic IKE v1 router route-based VPN. Okay. Then we need to specify the primary VPN gateway and a secondary VPN gateway. Now, off the top of my head, I don't know those, so let's go look at those up really quickly. So under Gateway, scroll down to the West Transit. Here it is, the public IP of that tunnel. Let's take that guy, pop it here. Let's take the secondary, which is the HA gateway, pop it here. Bam. Next. All right. Once it builds a really basic thing. We need to go manipulate some stuff here. So click the Advanced section, and let's change the PSK, the pre-shared key, to Dana123 Dana. Leave everything else default. Oops. Dana123 Dana. Leave everything else default. And then we also need to specify what's the destination subnet we're trying to reach. Well, everything in my cloud is in the 10 net, so I'm just going to put a 10.0.0.0/8 in here, and everything else you can leave default. All right. What you do want to do actually is enable the tunnel. So click that, hit save. All right. Once that's done, you can download the template so you know what to configure on the Aviatrix side. Here it is. Okay. So what we're going to do is go to the Aviatrix side. Now, the Aviatrix side is just as simple as it was when building tunnels and connectivity to Silver Peak SD-WAN or to Cloud N connectivity, or really it doesn't matter. Aviatrix automates and orchestrates the majority of all of this configuration. You just got to put in a couple values. So let's go there under Transit Network, under Setup. If I can click Transit Network under Setup, you scroll down to step 3, and it's the External Device section. We're going to click External Device. VeloCloud only supports static, and we're going to select our West Transit, and we'll give it a name. Let's call it Dana Velo. The remote CIDR that we're trying to get to from the Aviatrix environment is 192.168.2.0/24. Now, this is what I have configured on my router at home, my VeloCloud router. Now, this is important that what you put here is correct, and you can put a comma-separated value here as well, because what's going to happen is Aviatrix is then going to go and configure this subnet across all your gateways and reachability across all your gateways in your VPCs, in your TGW route tables, wherever it needs to be. It will orchestrate this route propagation across your entire AWS, Azure, and GCP environment for you. Pretty slick. So let's continue down. Yes, West Transit is what we're connecting to. Now we're going to select the algorithms and create some custom entries here. So basically, it's going to be SHA-1, DH Group 2, AES 128. It's going to be SHA-1, DH Group 2, and AES 128 as well. Now they do support 256. I just selected 128 because it's default. We're not going to do enable remote gateway HA because they don't support that on their side. But what we are going to do is specify the VeloCloud IP. Now, if it hasn't changed, it should still be 192.40.64.47, which I used before, but I'll double check by going in here. If I scroll down, yeah, it is still the same thing, 192.40.64.47. Is that what I said? 64.47, yeah, that's it. So select that. Pre-share key is Dana123 Dana. The local tunnel IP and the remote tunnel IP were generated by VeloCloud. So let's go back to the VeloCloud side. It looks like these are them here. 169.254.49.210 and 209 is the first tunnel. The second tunnel is 169.254.49.214 and 213. Now I already have these in my cache, so I'm just gonna go back to Aviatrix and I should be able to find them in there. Yep, there they are right there, because I had done this before. Although I need to put /30s in here. There we go. So it's telling me, I'm telling the Aviatrix side what the local and remote tunnel IPs are when it builds the tunnels in the config. All right, that's it. So let's hit connect, hit OK, and we wait a little bit of time, and it should come up. All right, it's done. We still have a couple things to do on the VeloCloud side to bring up this tunnel. So let's close out of this, and let's go and configure the profile that my edge is attached to. We need to change a couple things in here. So under Dana's remote site, which I have my remote site router connected to, under the device section, we're going to enable the, they call it branch to non-VeloCloud site, the one we just created. So underneath Cloud VPN, you enable it, turn it on, and in here you enable this and say, yes, I want to connect to the Aviatrix Transit, okay? Quite simple. So that's done. Let's hit save. Done. Now what's going to happen is it's telling that edge device that it needs to get to 10.0.0.8, it goes to the VCG. Now it also tells the VCG to establish this tunnel. So if we go to monitor and under network services, we should start to see this eventually will come up. This tunnel that we have to the Aviatrix side should show up. Let's give it some time and I'll be right back, and that should show up in a moment. And there we go. It shows that it's up. I have both of my tunnels up to my Aviatrix gateways. Fantastic. All right, let's go to the Aviatrix side and make sure that it's also connected. Yep, it already shows up. Dana Velo up. If you click that, you can get more information about it. Up and up. Now to see what Aviatrix has done in the background from a routing perspective, we can go and take a look at the list section of Transit Network and scroll down to the West Transit Router. That's where we are terminating that site to cloud tunnel to VeloCloud. If we look at its routing table, you should see a route to 192.168.2.0 that's been programmed by the controller to point at the next hop of the tunnel. So scroll down. There it is, 192.168.2.0, next hop through the Dana Velo tunnel. Now there's also an alternate path through the HA transit gateway that's sitting right next to it in case this one goes down. But yeah, you can see this route has been programmed here. But this route hasn't just only been programmed here, it's been programmed across all your transit gateways in GCP, in AWS, in Azure, in OCI, wherever you have transit gateways and you've allowed that connectivity, it will program that route there. And then if it needs to be programmed in a VPC route table or in a TGW route table, it will also be programmed there. The controller knows where to program the routes end to end to ensure you have connectivity the moment you bring up that tunnel. So let's test our connectivity. Let's see if it actually works. Let's quickly review the traffic path before we actually test it out. So my MacBook Pro is connected to 192.168.2.0/24 network that's hosted by that VeloCloud Edge 500 at my house. And that VeloCloud Edge 500 has built an SD-WAN fabric. So we're gonna ride the SD-WAN fabric into the VCG. And from the VCG, we're going to then go up the site to cloud tunnel across the internet that terminates on the Aviatrix Transit Gateway environment hosted in AWS US West 1. But my target is actually in the GCP environment, all the way over here. My target is 10.5.0.2. So to get to GCP, I have to ride the Aviatrix encrypted transport, that global backbone that will create the full mesh backbone we create between your CSPs across a high performance, low latency environment to get to GCP, okay? So from down here up into the AWS environment, from AWS we'll go directly to GCP. We have a full mesh environment. We don't have to go across any of these in between. That's just how my diagram shows it, but really there's a full mesh environment. So let's test it out. So just to confirm that I'm actually on that network and not trying to fool you guys, We're going to do if config-a. You can see right here, 192.168.2.117, I am on that network. So let's do a ping to 10.5.0.2. That's my test instance in GCP. Bam, there you go. And the latency isn't horrible. I'm riding a pretty bad internet in California to get to AWS. And from AWS, I'm going across the encrypted backbone to GCP. Very nice. So this is really pretty straightforward. But if you recall, I didn't go and put any routes in any of these environments up here. I didn't put any routes in here, in the VPCs, in the GCP routing table, anything. And in the transit, the controller handled all the routing end to end for me. This is the beauty of Aviatrix as your cloud networking platform. There's really nothing that beats it. It's super automated and you get full visibility. Just a fantastic solution. I'm going to make another one of these videos that shows how to do this with Cisco SD-WAN coming up soon. So please stay tuned. Thanks for watching.